We are getting our energy pumped up here as we move into our final game. Our rolling whistle has blown, so we're moving into our first jam. And that whistle brings us to our first jam of the last game of the day. We have Slaya jamming up against Tenacious K. And Tenacious K is out. Tenacious K is our lead jammer. Slaya is out of the pack. Tenacious K on their first round of points. Oh, Tenacious K coming in, tries to go across the apex, but it's set out of bounds. Tenacious K coming out with 4 points. Meanwhile, Slaya from Northeast Uprising also has 4 points. It looks like Tenacious K will be going to the box as a jammer, so no longer having a lead jammer. We're going to have a 2-minute jam. Slaya out with another round of 4 points, making this an 8-point jam for Northeast Uprising. Slaya coming in on their third round of points, coming in. Philly holding up a tripod against Slaya right now. Captain number 23, Skid, rejoining the pack, making this a 4-on-4 pack. Slaya taken out of bounds by Casserole in the midst of Slaya's third scoring pass of the jam. Catastrophe working some defense against Slaya. Tenacious K coming back on the track from that earlier penalty. Tenacious K puts 4 points on the board. Slaya is out of the pack. This jam cannot be called off. We've got to go for the full 2 minutes. Tenacious K puts 4 more points on the board for the Brawlstars. Both jammers coming in to score more points as that jam clock counts down. There's 4 whistles. That brings us to the end of the jam. Looks like Northeast Uprising picking up 1 more point, rolling in by our jammer referee, Boom. It's a 10-point jam for the Brawlstars and a 13-point jam for Northeast Uprising. Our second jam of the game is going to be a 5-on-5. Our penalty box is clear. There's the whistle to start the action. Mean Mimi out there jamming for Northeast. And Mean Mimi is our lead jammer. Jamming for Philly, number 22, Wrecked out there. Both jammers are out, and they are on scoring passes. Mean Mimi coming in, Wrecked coming in, jumps the apex, takes down a teammate. Mean Mimi making way to the front of the pack, but is taking on Philly's 3-wall defense. Mean Mimi recycles into the pack. There's a back block call in there somewhere. Let's see what's going to happen from that. Looks like that's going to go to Wrecked. Mean Mimi coming out with 4 points for Northeast Uprising. Wrecked, seated for a back block. So this is a power jam in the hands of Mean Mimi. Mean Mimi coming out of the pack, and Boom holding up all 4 fingers. Mean Mimi in full control now on this power jam, responsible for 8 points on the scoreboard. Mean Mimi toe stops right around the inside line, making quick work of that third scoring pass, making this a 12-point jam. Wrecked coming in from that earlier penalty, but this jam is over. Looks like Wrecked does pick up 1 more point here, coming in from that penalty box. That's going to bring the Brawlstars up to 11 points. Northeast Uprising up to 25. A great 4 whistles brings us into a team timeout, or an official timeout. Speaking of official timeouts, let's give some love to our officials working this game. They've been working a lot of derby today and a lot of more derby tomorrow. Our NSOs and our referees. Now, as we said, it always takes more NSOs for a game to happen than it does referees. Our NSOs this evening, Kitten Around, Hot Mess Express, B Sharp, Dan, T-Bone, Less Than 3, Darcy, Tombo number 5, and Keeping Score. Our referees with the stripes and the skates this evening, Jams Joyce, Boom, Shebra, Chase Roundabout, Moss Ref, Smash Ketchum, and Pineapple. That rolling whistle brings us to the end of that official timeout. Going back to our game, moving into the third jam of what looks to be some action-packed derby. Another Northeast Uprising lead. This is number 715. This is Crash Landing in control. Translucent with the jammer star for Philly, but Translucent hands that star off to Deathcap. Crash Landing with 4 points for Northeast, and Crash Landing calls off the jam. Four to nothing there in favor of Northeast Uprising. Join us again tomorrow for day 2 of Philly Fest, 8 a.m. Southside Revolutions taking on Iowa City Bruisers. But back to our game. Slaya back on the jam line, taking on Tenacious K. Oh, incomplete scoring pass for Slaya, giving Philly a lead now. Tenacious K in control. Slaya is out with 4 points, and there's a multiplayer block. He's gonna put Livid in the penalty box. Bull Jammers coming out with 4 points. Tenacious K coming into the front of the pack, crashing into Northeast Uprising's defense. Tenacious K toe stopping right around that line. We are still jammer on jammer. Bull Jammers are out with 4 points. Tenacious K is in for 4. Oh, takes a spill. Slaya is out with 4, and we are once again jammer on jammer. Both jammers putting 4 points on the board. I can tell you already it's going to be one of these games. It's going to be close the whole way through. Both jammers now coming in on more scoring passes. Philly holding up a tripod at the back of the pack. It looks like Tenacious K busts out one more 4-point pass before the jam is over, making that a 16-13 jam in favor of Philly. Looking at a score now, 27-42. Northeast Uprising with the lead. Philly with the pack advantage right now. It's going to be a 4-2 pack. Northeast Uprising with this advantage. Mean Mimi out there versus Deathcap. Deathcap picking up lead for Philly. Mean Mimi is out of the pack. Deathcap with 4 points though. So our jammers are back to a foot race as they come in on scoring passes. Philly closing up that outside wall. That defense by Jocelyn Moon. Mean Mimi getting past Philly's defense. So Deathcap is out with 4 more points and making this an 8-point jam. Mean Mimi out with 4. Looks like Honey Badger working some defense on the outside line, putting Deathcap out of bounds and forcing the rollback. Mean Mimi also brought to the back of the pack as well, so Bull Jammers restarting this pass. Mean Mimi now taking on Philly's defense at the front of the pack. Philly losing a blocker to a clockwise block penalty. That's going to thin things out a little bit for Mean Mimi. Mean Mimi is out with 4 points. So all said and done, nothing gained, nothing lost. This is an 8-8 jam. And it looks like we are moving into lead changes and half a dozen ties, and Black and Bluegrass pulled off that win when they were down twice by a pretty good amount of points. So this last game of the day looks to be about the same amount of energy. It's going to be a 4-3 pack moving into this next jam. Philly down a blocker. All right, that whistle brings us to the end of the timeout. The next whistle we hear will start the jam. Number 22 wrecked out there with the Jammer Star for the Brawlstars. Let's see what we got for Northeast Uprising. Wrecked is our lead jammer. Philly with an elevator door move on the jammer and a completed star pass over to number 212, the Exorcist. Wrecked on a first scoring pass, and Wrecked is out with 4 points. So Philly now closing in that gap by a matter of 8 points. Wrecked still in full control, coming in for another scoring pass. The Exorcist taken out of the track and forced to recycle. Oh, Wrecked being called off on a high block penalty. Not going to help Philly recover these lost points now. The Exorcist not lead jammer after that star pass, but this is a power jam in the hands of Northeast Uprising. Philly switching to full defense right now with Wrecked still in the box from that high block. The Exorcist trying to get past Philly's defense, but Philly throwing their entire four-wall at the Exorcist. With no lead jammer, we have to go for the full 2 minutes. Rainbow Crash working that defense against the Exorcist, now Livid, and number 33 Casserole jumping in on this four-wall. Wrecked coming back in from that earlier high block, so our penalty box vacates. We're back to some 5-on-5 derby. Northeast Uprising holding a four-wall together up against Wrecked at the back of the pack. The Exorcist is out. Boom holding up 4 points. Bull Jammers are out with 4. And we are once again on a foot race for our Jammers. It's a 5-on-5 jam now. No chance for a call-off. We got to go for the full 2 minutes. We time out at 2 minutes. It's a 12-point jam for Philly, bringing them up to 49. 4 points by Northeast Uprising. They are at 54, so we are now at a 5-point game.
Go Brawlstars!
4-3 pack in favor of Northeast Uprising. This is Slaya. Slaya picking up lead. Going through that pack on that initial pass like a pinball. Slaya taking on number 10, Tenacious K. Slaya getting through, calling it. Tenacious K picking up 4 points. Slaya picking up 4 points, so we're still at a 5-point game. Both teams ahead by 4. So that jam is a wash. 18 minutes left to our first period of the game. Looks like Philly going to be down 2 blockers. Northeast Uprising only down 1 blocker, so a 2-3 pack. We do have Bull Jammers lining up. Wrecked out there versus Mean Mimi. And Mean Mimi out of the pack first. And Mean Mimi is our lead jammer. Recht still stuck behind Northeast Uprising's defense. Recht makes it out of the pack. Mean Mimi is on a scoring pass. Mimi is out with 4 points, furthering their lead in the game. No points scored by Recht. Mean Mimi has 4 points for Northeast Uprising. Looks like we're looking at a 2 to 4 pack here in favor of Northeast Uprising. We have Deathcap out there versus Crash Landing. Deathcap coming out with a Philly lead. Deathcap is in on a scoring pass. Northeast Uprising throwing their entire defense at Deathcap. Crash Landing is out. Deathcap putting 4 points on the board. And Crash Landing is in for some points. Philly keeping Crash Landing stuck at the back of the pack. Tyrannosaurus Rex holding that inside line against Deathcap. Also sending Deathcap out of bounds to the inside. Nice defense by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex forced to restart this pass. Philly losing 2 blockers to the penalty box. Our jammers are out with 4 points, albeit Philly now 4 points ahead of the Uprising in this jam. Crash Landing making quick work of that pass, making that an 8-point jam for both of our jammers. Deathcap with a 4-point pass, making this a 12-point jam for Philly. Crash Landing working on their 3rd scoring pass of the jam. Here comes Deathcap coming through, making this a 16-point jam for Philly. Looks like, let's see what we got. Looks like Deathcap picking up 2 more points at the end of that jam, making that an 18-point jam, 16-point jam for Northeast Uprising. So we're now down to a 7-point game with 15 minutes left to our first half. So our penalty box has a couple skaters, looks like 1 blocker from each team. This is number 10, Tenacious K, and Tenacious K coming out with a Philly lead. Slaya coming out jamming for Northeast Uprising. Both jammers are out. Slaya is in, gets up to the front, but has to take on a 3 while the Philly blockers. Tenacious K is out with 4 points. Tenacious K on a 2nd scoring pass, but gets some blocking by Northeast's defense. Slaya picking up 4 points, helping to further their slight lead that they have in the game right now. Both jammers looking at 4 points so far in the jam. Here comes Slaya on a 2nd scoring pass, and Slaya is out, extending their lead another 4 points. Tenacious K getting sent out of bounds. That's Tyrannosaurus Rex once again working that defense. Slaya in on a 3rd trip through the pack here. And Slaya out. This is a 12-point jam. Philly would like to thank 187's Killer Pads for their support this season. Hey, if you skate, you know 187 Killer Pads are the choice of more pro skaters than any other brand, with visionary designs and top-rated safety in a variety of spectacular patterns. Don't skate without your 187 pads. Once again, Philly Juniors would like to thank all of the officials who are here this weekend. Without you, this weekend would not have been possible. The skaters are so grateful for your time, support, and guidance as they navigate this game. I should say this crazy game of roller derby. All right, there's a rolling whistle bringing us to the end of this official timeout. Once again, it's an 11-point game. Philly 79, Northeast Uprising 90. Mean Mimi back out there once again. This is number 2 from Northeast Uprising versus Baby Slay, number 18. Baby Slay is first time out to jam. Mad Goose guarding the outside line against Baby Slay. Now Baby Slay taking on a tripod of Northeast Uprising blockers. Baby Slay is out and is our lead jammer. Honey Badger working some defense against Baby Slay. Baby Slay. All right, both of our jammers coming out with 4 points. We are jammer on jammer now as they go into their second scoring passes. Baby Slaya coming in, taking on Northeast defense. Both of our jammers out once again. We are still on a foot race for Baby Slaya and Mean Mimi. Catastrophe guarding the inside line against Mean Mimi. Now Jocelyn holding up a tripod. That jam is over. Looks like Mean Mimi does pick up 3 points, gets 3 points ahead of Baby Slaya. So an 11-8 jam there in favor of Northeast Uprising. Now Northeast Uprising breaks the century mark, 101 over Philly's 87. Number 22, Wrecked out there taking on Crash Landing. Tyrannosaurus Rex coming in for some defense against Wrecked, but Wrecked is called off on a jammer penalty, so this is a power jam in the hands of Crash Landing and Northeast Uprising. That jammer penalty not helping Philly recover these lost points. Crash Landing is out and gets those 2 whistles. That means they are our lead jammer for the jam. And it's still a power jam with Crash Landing in full control. Livid going in for some defense against Crash Landing. Crash Landing calling off the jam in the midst of that scoring pass. It's a 1-0 jam, and Wrecked is frozen in the box. That call-off is going to buy Northeast Uprising a power start in this next jam as we are about 10 minutes left to our first period. Looks like we're looking at a 4-on-4 pack. Just one jammer in the box. Wrecked re-enters, but Slaya coming out with a Northeast Uprising lead. Now Wrecked also out. Slaya with an apex jump, lands in bounds, takes a fall. Let's see what Boom is saying. Boom holding up all 4 fingers, so it was a good round of 4 points. Wrecked on another jammer penalty back to back. So another power jam now in the hands of Slaya. Captain Squid with a hip check, taking Slaya down in the midst of Slaya's third scoring pass of the jam. Tenacious K now working some defense against Slaya, but Slaya's out. Slaya has those 4 more points, making this a 12-0 jam. Slaya calls it off. That call off is once again going to freeze Wrecked in the box for another power start in favor of Northeast Uprising. So 88 now to 114. Northeast Uprising with that lead in a series of power jams and a series of power starts now. Number 2, Mean Mimi out there on this power start. There is a whistle. Mean Mimi taking on Casserole, working some defense on the inside line. Mean Mimi goes to the out. Wrecked comes out of the box, and Wrecked is our lead jammer. Oh, Mean Mimi called off on a forearm penalty. This is going to be a power jam now in the hands of Philly with Wrecked in full control. Now Wrecked putting 4 points on the board. With such a close score now, anything is possible in the next few minutes. Wrecked on a second scoring pass of the jam. Noah Reese trying to recycle their defense to the front of the pack, but Wrecked gets out with another 4. Philly now trying to catch up from the bottom as they were a couple points below Norris for a couple jams. Wrecked still on a power jam. Mean Mimi was serving some time for an earlier forearm penalty. Wrecked on a third scoring pass. Norris Uprising throwing a tripod at Wrecked, but Wrecked is out. Gets past that tripod with another 4 points. Mean Mimi tries to ride the line, but goes out of bounds. Recycles this pass. Wrecked bringing Philly to the 100-point mark. It's so far a 12-0 jam. Wrecked taken out of bounds. That looks like that was number 276, Honey Badger, with that defense. Wrecked meeting some defense by Northeast Uprising's blockers. Oh no, Wrecked is called off on a forearm penalty. So it's gonna be a 2-minute jam. We do not have a lead jammer. Mean Mimi now on a power jam. In the midst now of an official review being called by the Northeast Uprising bench. Our officials are discussing the concern at hand. When there is a ruling, we will bring the details to you and move on to our next jam. Boom coming to us from Reading Roller Derby in Reading, Pennsylvania. Cheering up, getting the crowd pumped up. Not that we really need it because it's very energetic in here. We do have a ruling on this official review. This review was called by the Northeast Uprising bench, looking to see if a back block penalty should be called on a Philly skater in the previous jam. When they got together and discussed the action in detail, there was not enough information presented to make a ruling, so no call will be issued, and they will have lost that review. So we're at about 6.5 minutes left to our first half of this very intense game. (100 to 118), Northeast Uprising in the lead. Still anything possible because we've seen some pretty matched skill by the jammers on both of these teams. Crash Landing is out to jam once again for Northeast Uprising, and Crash Landing is our lead jammer. And this is a power start in the hands of Crash Landing. Crash Landing on a power jam, and Crash Landing has 4 points. Wrecked coming back in from the penalty box. Crash Landing calling off the jam before Wreck can score any points. So that jam keeping Philly at 100. Northeast Uprising just a matter of 22 points ahead. And we say just a matter of 22 points because that is not a lot in Derby. Earlier on in the day, we saw Black and Bluegrass down by that many points, and they pulled off a 10-point win. So Slaya back out there again. This number 26 and the captain jamming for Northeast Uprising. It's a Northeast Uprising lead once again. Jamming for Philly, this is number 909 Livid, called off on a track cut. So Slay is our lead jammer, and Slay is on a power jam. Slay now with the first 4 points of the jam as they are winding up for a second round of points. Slay coming in full speed ahead. Still in a power jam, Slaya scoring 8 points, calling off the action while Livid is now frozen in the box. We've been seeing a lot of call-offs while jammers in the boxes, buying some power starts here for Northeast Uprising. Looking now at a 30-point game. Philly 100, Northeast Uprising 130, and we have a timeout called by our officials. That whistle bringing us to the end of the timeout with just over 4 minutes left to our first period. 100 to 130, Northeast Uprising with the lead right now. And once again, it's a power start in the hands of Mean Mimi. Livid still seated for a track cut called in the previous jam. Mean Mimi not out of the pack yet, so lead is open. Livid coming out of the box and picking up a Philly lead. Philly now ramping up their defense against Mean Mimi while Livid comes in for a scoring pass. Lightning putting a hit on Livid. Now number 276, that's Honey Badger running Livid all the way to the back. So Mean Mimi, not our lead jammer, but Mean Mimi is out of the pack, ready to score some points. Livid scoring 2 points before that jam was called off. So 2-0 there, going up to the Philly side of the scoreboard. Scoreless jam for Northeast Uprising. 3 minutes to go to our first period. Crash Landing back out there, number 715. But Crash Landing is outdone. Casserole jamming for Philly, and Casserole is out with lead jammer. Oh, Casserole getting some defense by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex forces Casserole out of bounds and forces the recycle. Now Northeast Uprising stretches their four-wall out at the front of the pack. Casserole working against that four-wall. Casserole has the first 4 points of the jam. Crash Landing getting some blocking solo by number 55, Rainbow Crash. Casserole coming out, completing a second scoring pass, making this an 8-point jam for Philly. Points for Northeast Uprising. Casserole taking a spill after getting blocked by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Both of our jammers now looking at 8 points. Now make that 12 points for Philly with Casserole still in control. Crash Landing coming out now also with 4 points. So both jammers now looking at 12 points. Crash Landing getting ahead, making that 4-point pass. But here comes Casserole also with 4, so both jammers looking at 16 points. This jam is called off. All said and done, after all that effort and energy, that jam was a wash. 16 points for both of our jammers. That's going to bring Philly to 118. Northeast Uprising 146. Our period clock frozen with 58 seconds to go till halftime. Looks like there's some time being added to the period clock of this scoreboard now, up to 1 minute 4 seconds. Score hasn't changed. We're still at Philly 118, Northeast Uprising 146. Matter of 28 points separating these two teams. Still, anything is possible. We still have another half hour of Derby after this first period comes to an end. Still in this official timeout here with 1 minute 4 left to our period clock. Hey, and there's a whistle. That's going to start the jam. Mean Mimi out there versus Tenacious K. And Tenacious K speeds through. Tenacious K is our lead jammer. Oh, Deathcap working some defense on Mean Mimi. Mean Mimi sent out of bounds and forced to recycle. Tenacious K on a scoring pass. Tenacious K meeting up with all four Norris Uprising blockers. Mean Mimi is out. Tenacious K has 4 points. Mean Mimi and Tenacious K coming in their passes again. Mean Mimi picks up 4 points for Northeast Uprising. Tenacious K taking the safe route there and recycling to the back of the pack after being sent out of bounds. In that time, Mean Mimi completes another 4-point pass, making this 8 points on the board for Northeast Uprising. Tenacious K stuck on their second scoring pass of the jam. Mean Mimi is in and out with 4 points, 12 points completed. And that brings us into halftime. We're going to take a 15-minute break going in. Northeast Uprising 158, Philly Brawlstars 126. gameplay this weekend. So we are at the end of our halftime, going into the second half of the game. Philly 126, Northeast Uprising 158. Get it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, really? Oh, okay. There it is. That's the rolling whistle. That's what brings us to the end of the halftime. Our skaters are taking the track for this second half of this game. Going in, Northeast Uprising with a 32-point lead over Philly, 158-126. 5-on-5, jam our penalty box is clear. And it looks like Tenacious K, number 10, has a Philly lead over number 26, Slaya. Bull Jammers are out and coming in. Slaya crashing into a Philly blocker. Tenacious K coming out. Tenacious K has 4 points. However, Slaya also out, matching those points, making that also a 4-point jam. Slaya out with another 4, making this 8 points. Slaya stuck inside Philly's defense right now at the front of the pack. Slaya coming in for a 3rd scoring trip through the pack. Slaya finds a hole and comes out, making this now an 8-8 jam. Tenacious K completes a scoring pass, putting 4 more on the board. Looking at a score now, 12-8 as far as points scored. Make that 12-12. So this jam, our jammers pretty much matching each other's points. So a 12-12 jam so far. Tenacious K is out with another 4 points. Hey, but not to be outdone. There is Slaya matching those 4 points as well. So it's a 16-16 jam. So far, it's a wash. And that jam is called off. 2 more points sneaking in at the end of that jam by Tenacious K. I believe that's going to give Philly a 2-point lead as far as points scored in that jam. 18-16. That's going to bring Philly up to 144. Underneath Northeast Uprising's 174, so down to a 30-point game. Live It out there taking on Mean Mimi. And it looks like Livid is out, but is being called off on a jammer penalty. So this is a power jam now in the hands of Mean Mimi from Northeast Uprising. Mean Mimi taking advantage of this power jam. Mimi coming in on the scoring pass. Mimi is out. Jammer penalty is not what Philly needs right now if they want to make up some of these lost points. keeping up with how they've been doing things so far in the game. Mean Mimi calling off that jam, freezing Livid in the box. And now if I was Livid, I'd be pretty livid myself. Scoreless jam for Philly. They're at 144. Plus 4 points there for Norris, making that 178. We have a shout out here for number 24, Sparks on Philly. We love you, and that's from Mom and Dad. So power start now back in the hands of Norris Uprising. They've got Crash Landing out there, number 715, and Crash Landing gets the 2 whistles. Crash Landing is our lead jammer. Tyrannosaurus Rex putting some blocking on Livid. Okay, Livid is out. Crash Landing is on a scoring pass, but Philly with a very fluid tripod tracking Crash Landing through the pack, but Crash Landing is out with 4, and Crash Landing calls off the jam. So net 4 points there for Norris Uprising. Brings them up to 182 over Phillies. They're still at 144. Slay out for Norris Uprising. Philly losing Death Cap right off the whistle on a jammer penalty. So Slay is on a Norris Uprising power jam. Slay is out with the first 4 points of the jam. Slay is still on a power jam, scores 4 more points, making this an 8-point jam. Slaya is in. Looks like Slaya taken out of bounds, choosing the safe route and recycling behind Tenacious K. Meanwhile, Deathcap recovering from the earlier penalty comes back in. Now this is an initial pass complete by Deathcap, but Slaya is on a 3rd scoring pass. Slaya taken down by Philly's defense, mid-scoring pass. Here comes Deathcap, ready to score some points. So we're jammer on jammer now. Slaya 8 points ahead of Deathcap right now, 12-4. Both jammers coming in the pack. Slaya working ahead, and Slaya has one more blocker. That's the pivot from Philly. That's number 10, Tenacious K, sending Slaya out of bounds on the outside, coming around the apex. Slaya signaling the call-off. Slaya looks like 2 more points rolling in by our jammer referee, making this possibly a 14-point jam, 16-point jam. Six points there, scored by Deathcap at the end of that jam. So 198-150, Norris Uprising with this nearly 50-point lead. Mean Mimi back out there, and Mean Mimi is our lead jammer. Deathcap still in the box. So Mean Mimi on a powered star and a power jam. Gets past Gemini. Onyx taking a spill in front of Mean Mimi, but Mean Mimi stays up. And Mean Mimi is sent off on a jammer penalty. So lead jammer will be lost. This will be a 2-minute jam. Deathcap now coming out. Deathcap is on a Philly power jam, just what Philly needs to help recover some lost points. Deathcap crashing into some Norris Uprising blockers there on the scoring pass. Still no points have been scored. And Deathcap, not lead jammer, but Deathcap does have 4 points for Philly. Mean Mimi coming back in from the earlier penalty. Mean Mimi now putting 4 more on the board, so We cannot call off this jam. We've got to stay the course and go for the full 2 minutes. Deathcap scoring 4 more points for Philly. Mean Mimi in there scoring 4 more points for Northeast Uprising. If I've ever announced a game where these jammers had similar skill, this has to be it. We are seeing a lot of matching scoring passes and matching jams. Deathcap out of bounds, recycles at the back. Deathcap on a 3rd scoring pass complete. All said and done, just 1 point ahead as far as points scored in that last jam, 12-11. $11 points scored by Northeast Uprising. They're at 209 now. Philly at 162, about 21 minutes left to our game. Now Philly with the pack advantage, 4-3 pack in favor of Northeast Uprising. We have Baby Slaya out there, number 18. And Baby Slaya picking up a Philly lead. Crash Landing, number 715, with the jammer star for Northeast Uprising. Crash Landing is out. Baby Slaya is on a scoring pass, but gets some blocking by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Crash Landing on a scoring pass for Northeast Uprising. Baby Slaya on a scoring trip for Philly, but Baby Slaya called off on a back block. So Baby Slaya losing lead, going to the penalty box. Now Philly down a jammer and a blocker. This puts Crash Landing on a Northeast Uprising power jam. Both jammers now have 4 points to their names. Crash Landing is out with another 4, making quick work of that pass. Now Crash Landing, unable to call off the jam, has 8 points. Translucent working the back of that tripod, sends Crash Landing out of bounds. Crash Landing recycles behind Translucent. Baby Slaya comes back in from that earlier back block penalty, so Bull Jammer is back in action. And Crash Landing still unable to call off the jam. 18 seconds to go. Crash Landing with 12 points now. Crash Landing coming in now with 16 points, and Baby Slaya with an 8-point score, an 8-point jam complete. And there's our whistle. We time out just as Baby Slaya comes into the pack. No additional points. So 16 points scored by Northeast Uprising, 8 points by Philly, 170-225. Northeast Uprising still in the lead.
There are nights when I think that South Paradise is right. Boys and girls in America.
18 minutes left to our final game of the day, going into a team timeout. And looks like Livid giving us a little bit of a dance on the jammer line as we are waiting to start this next jam. Shout out for Livid for taking the mic a couple games ago and announcing a game. Livid did a very fantastic job. Now after that, we had number 44, Flomo, took the mic and also did a fantastic job. So very grateful to have the skill here in Junior Derby that we have. Hey, there's a rolling whistle. That's going to end this official timeout. 18:42 left to our game. Philly 170, Northeast Uprising 225. We're going to have Livid versus number 26, Slaya. Slaya is our lead jammer. A lead in the hands of Northeast Uprising. Now Livid's out of the pack, but so is Slaya. Initial pass complete for Livid. 4-point pass completed by Slaya. Oh, Slaya taking a bit of a spill there. Tries to sneak through on the apex, but is taken back and drawn back by number 505, Jocelyn Moon. Philly ramping up their defense against Slaya in this jam. Incomplete scoring pass for Livid. 3 points on the board for Philly. Two 4-point passes completed by number 26, Slaya, as that jam is called off. So net 8 points there for Noise Uprising. They're at 233, Philly 173. All right, Translucent, number 3377, coming out with the Jammer Star for Philly, it looks like. And Mean Mimi has a Jammer Star for Northeast Uprising. Mean Mimi is our lead jammer. Translucent with a star pass over to Tenacious K. Tenacious K coming out of the pack with 4 points. Mean Mimi winding up for a second scoring pass. Mean Mimi is out with another 4, making this an 8-point jam. But here comes Tenacious K also with an 8-point jam. Another one of these jams where we are level, on the same level with our jammers. Mean Mimi coming out with 4 more points and calls off the jam. Starting our next jam with a 5-on-5. Our penalty box is clear. 16 minutes to go. Coming out the jam for the first time for Noise Uprising, this is number 1, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Jamming for Philly, this is Jocelyn Moon, number 505, and Jocelyn Moon is our lead jammer. So Jocelyn Moon coming in, going out of bounds, recycles. Jocelyn Moon is out with 4 points for Philly. Tyrannosaurus Rex getting some blocking by Philly's defense. Number 404, Jack on the box, working that defense against Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now Tyrannosaurus Rex is out with 4 points. It looks like Philly losing their jammer, Jocelyn Moon, to a jammer penalty. So another power jam in the hands of Northeast Uprising. No lead jammer, they cannot call off the jam. Tyrannosaurus Rex, though, does come out with another 4-point pass. Still in a power jam, Tyrannosaurus Rex coming in for a 3rd round of points. Jocelyn Moon still in the box from that earlier penalty. And Jocelyn Moon is brought back onto the track. No lead jammer, we cannot call off the action. Tyrannosaurus Rex has now 12 points. And Jocelyn Moon with another 4-point pass, bringing Philly with an 8-point jam. Tyrannosaurus Rex with another 4, making this a 16-point jam. Just a couple seconds left to our jam. Jocelyn Moon called off on a track cut. And we time out at 2 minutes. That's going to freeze Jocelyn Moon in the penalty box for a power start in the hands of Noise Uprising. And we go into an official timeout. All said and done, that was 9 points scored by Jocelyn Moon before that track cut was called. A 16-point jam by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Making quick work of that timeout by our officials. Going in now, we are in the last quarter of the game. Just under 14 minutes to go. Philly 190, Northeast Uprising 261. Oh, look at that. We got Slaya out there. Slaya having a hole on the inside, giving Slaya lead jammer. Jocelyn Moon still seated in the box from that track cut in the previous jam. So this is a power jam in the hands of Slaya. Slaya coming in on their first round of points. And Slay is out with 4. So Slade now still on a power jam in full control. Jocelyn Moon times out of the box, comes back in, and completes an initial pass. But Slay is out with a second scoring pass completed, making this an 8-point jam. Look like Translucent laying a block on Slaya, but Slaya recycles, comes back in. Oh no, it's taken out of bounds on the inside. I think that's Tenacious K working that defense against Slaya. Slaya calls off the action, but not before scoring 12 points. Philly coming off that jam with 4 points now. They're at 194. Northeast Uprising 273. Three pack here. Number 2, Mean Mimi out there versus number 666, Deathcap. Mean Mimi is our lead jammer. Bull Jammers are out on a foot race. Deathcap going for the apex skip there. Bull Jammers coming out with 4 points. Making quick work of that jam, 4-4 with a call off. Just under 12 minutes left to our game. Philly 198, Northeast Uprising 277. I think we've got number 3377 Translucent out there to jam for Philly. Yes, we do. Translucent taking on number 1, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Tyrannosaurus Rex is our lead jammer. Translucent completes a star pass now over to Baby Slaya. It looks like Tyrannosaurus Rex is called off on a back block. So Northeast Uprising has a jammer in the box, unable to score. This gives a power jam now in the hands of Baby Slaya after receiving that star pass. It's going to be a 2-minute jam, no chance for a call-off, so we have to skate it out for the full 2 minutes. Baby Slaya picking up 4 points after receiving that star pass. Tyrannosaurus Rex serves 30 seconds and comes back onto the track. It looks like Baby Slaya taken out and forced to recycle. So Bull Jammers now on scoring passes. Livid working some defense against number 1, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Bull Jammers meeting some equal and opposite defense here by our skaters. Northeast Uprising walling up with a 4-wall, turning into a tripod and a catch against Baby Slaya, but Baby Slaya is out with 4 more points. First 4 points of the jam on the board by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here comes Baby Slaya on for a third scoring trip through the pack. Our jam time's out. All said and done, it's a wash, 8-8. 206 now, 285. Northeast Uprising still in the lead. like Baby Slaya picking up a jammer penalty late in that last jam and is seated for that penalty. So this is a power start in the hands of Nori's Uprising. So Slaya, number 26, out there and is in full control. Slaya making quick work, coming through that pack, not even slowing down for those first 4 points. Slaya coming out with another 4 points, skips around the apex now. This is a third scoring pass complete, so Slaya currently unhinged on the track as Nori's Uprising teeters beneath that 300-point mark. Philly walling up against Slaya, but Slaya is out, making this a 12-point jam. Baby Slaya coming in from the box, getting stuck behind Nori's Uprising's defense, coming around the apex. Here comes Big Slaya, that is from Nori's Uprising, on a 4th round of points. Casserole taking Slaya out of bounds, and that jam is over. 2 more points rolling in, making this a total of 14 points for Nori's Uprising. That brings him to 299, just 1 point shy of that 3rd century mark. Philly, they're picking up 4 points. They're at 210. Both teams down a blocker. It's going to be a 3-on-3 pack. Tenacious K out there versus Mean Mimi. And Tenacious K is our lead jammer. Mad Goose trying to slow down Tenacious K, but Tenacious K rides the toe stops on that outside line. Both jammers coming out, completing 4-point scoring passes, so we are again jammer on jammer. Tenacious K adding 4 more points, completing that scoring pass, bringing Philly up to 218. Nori's Uprising breaking that 300-point mark now. They're at 303. All right, 12-point jam here for Tenacious K. Tenacious K completing that other scoring pass. Mean Mimi with another pass complete, so 16 points here for Philly. Tenacious K, still our lead jammer and still in full control of the jam. Tenacious K takes a stumble coming through the apex. It looks like Mean Mimi is going to be called off on a jammer penalty. So that's going to hand a much-needed power jam in the hands of Philly now, with Tenacious K still in full control. 20-point jam. I believe this is the highest scoring jam of the half, if not of the game. Tenacious K coming in has 20 points, possibility now of 24 points. Let's see what happens in the last couple seconds. Okay. That is a 23-8 jam, bringing Philly up to 233. And Mean Mimi frozen in the box after having scored 8 points. So a power start now in the hands of Philly. Philly's got Baby Slaya out there. And Baby Slaya taking advantage of this power start. Baby Slaya is out, gets 2 whistles. Baby Slaya is our lead jammer, getting some blocking there by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Baby Slaya now on a first scoring trip through the pack. Mean Mimi rejoins the game after that earlier penalty in the last jam. Baby Slaya taken down by Tyrannosaurus Rex. Coming around the turn, Baby Slaya recycles. Mean Mimi is in on a scoring pass. It looks like that jam is going to be called off. It's a 2-0 jam there in favor of Philly. down to under 4 minutes left to our game. 4-3 pack here in favor of Northeast Uprising. 2:35, 3:07. Northeast up in the lead. Translucent back out there to jam. Translucent is our lead jammer. Oh, jammer on jammer hit puts Translucent into the wall. Number 26, Slaya, jamming for the Northeast Uprising. And Slaya coming out with 4 points for Northeast Uprising. Translucent coming in is taken down and forced to recycle by number 327. That's Switchblade. So Slaya with 8 points and Translucent with 4 points. Translucent calling off the jam, down to 2.5 minutes left to our game. Once again, 4-3 pack here in favor of Northeast Uprising. Philly down 1 blocker in the box, but we do have both jammers on the track. Let's see, we got Gemini out there coming out the jam for the first time, taking on Mad Goose. So first time jammers in this lineup. Mad Goose is out with lead jammer. Mad Goose coming in on a power jam. Casserole rolling up along with Squid. Gemini with a star pass over to Tenacious K. Tenacious K is scoreless, but Mad Goose has 4 points and a Northeast Uprising call-off. Down to 1:15 to our game. 2:39, 3:19. Northeast Uprising still with the lead. And it's going to be a 5-on-5 jam. Our penalty box is empty, so we're going now into a timeout called by our officials. Once again, tomorrow is day 2 of Philly Fest. Joining us here bright and early, Southside Revolutions will be playing the Iowa City Bruisers. Then again at 10:15, the Philly All-Stars hit the track, taking on the Black and Bluegrass from Kentucky. And our third and final game tomorrow will be the Philly Brawlstars, taking on a mixture of Hudson Valley and Northern Virginia. So those are our 3 games tomorrow. I believe we are still doing the live feed. Now, tomorrow morning, Northeast Uprising is traveling to Hanover, PA to play the Black Rose Rebellion Juniors. So meanwhile, tomorrow over in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Derby Brats are playing Crooked River. So we certainly have our fair share of Junior Derby happening in the area in the Northeast region tomorrow. Very dramatic rolling whistle there. We're down to 1:03 left to our game. Could be in the final countdown. Philly 239, Noise Uprising 319. Bolt Jammers are on the track. Looks like Philly has number 666. This is Death Cap out there. But we have a Northeast Uprising lead. This is number 107, Punky Bruiser in control. Punky Bruiser now in on a first round of points. Noise Uprising's defense forming a tripod at the back of the pack against Deathcap, keeping Deathcap stuck in back. Punky Bruiser is out with 4 points. Punky Bruiser gaining momentum here on a second scoring pass as Deathcap has a star pass completed over to Baby Slaya. Punky Bruiser out with another 4. And that is the end of our period clock. So this is the final jam of the game. Punky Bruiser signals the call off, ends the jam. Unofficial score now, Philly 242. 8 points on the board there for Northeast Uprising. They're at 327. Once our officials verify the scores and the math all look good, we're going to come to you with an official final. Looks like